What's up guys, Kudo-kun here. Bet some of you have been wondering where I've been this year. Obviously you know, cause it's me. I've been off mastering a card game like always. Decided to set my sights on a little game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Some of you probably haven't heard of it. I mean, it's a pretty low-key game, came out maybe a decade or so ago, but it never really gained popularity. But you guys aren't here for a history lesson, let's get that deck up on the screen. As always, if you're just here to net deck the deck list, and here it is, please enjoy. All I ask is that you leave me a like on the way out. Although in this case, because I'm giving you a pretty much guaranteed win in nationals or pretty much any big tournament you're going to be competing in, I do require a small split of the prize money. Please email me. I will provide you with a PayPal link where you can send part of the commissions. And don't try to steal the deck and win because I'll be watching out for it, okay? So for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Beginners out there who might not understand the idea of the deck, the point of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to win the duel, so it only makes sense to build a deck that has a bunch of win conditions in it. Why even try to play the game if you're eventually just going to outright win? So I present to you my ultimate win condition OTK, FTK, budget, combo aggro control deck. We got a lot to cover, so let's dive right in. We're going to start with the main core of the deck, Exodia, the big boy, obviously the best win condition in the game, easiest to pull off. Okay, there are lots of Exodia decks out there, so I know what I'm talking about. I can't even believe Konami gave us something so easy. All you have to do is draw all 5 pieces. So we got the left arm over here, you've got your right arm, you got your right leg, and you got your, Okay, look, it's not important. Just draw all 5 pieces of Exodia, play the Attack on Titan theme music, and declare your opponent the loser of the game. Okay? It's that simple. Of course, next up we gotta go with the Destiny board. Konami has made the awful mistake of not hitting this yet, so you can still run 3 of this and all the pieces. Fun fact about Destiny board, did you know that in Japan this actually spells out something different? Like here in America it spells out final, but in Japan it spells out loser. But because we live in such an SJW PC nation, they decided to change it to final because they thought that wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings. But to keep in the true spirit of the game and the community, they stuck with final even though it's only the first part of the phrase. The full phrase is actually finally you can go and sell your deck because you're a horrible duelist, never pick up Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. So, you know, the feminists lose. I think that's really the important message here. We managed to get one by him again. One final countdown, probably the most consistent win condition in the deck. The idea here is you play Final Countdown, and then you just blast the Final Countdown on a really loud phone of some kind, maybe a tablet, so that your opponent can't concentrate and they just have to keep ending their turn. And eventually, if they end their turn long enough, then you win the game. Simple. We're going to be running the Venom minion engine. It's going to be 3 King of Poisonous Snakes, of course. We've got the trap card here, Rise of the Snake Deity. Unfortunately, Venom minion's effect doesn't pop anymore unless you get destroyed by a card effect. So the easiest way you can get around this is just taunt your opponent, just let them know, like, hey, I bet you totally won't use a card to destroy my Venom minion. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have really big egos, so that's going to work in most cases. And then you get your Venominaga, deity of poisonous snakes out there, and it's pretty much just a win. I mean, you do have to attack 3 times, but what's 3 times, okay? You win in 3 turns. Obviously, it's a good card. Jackpot 7 works really well, too. You just wait for your opponent to destroy 3 of these, and once they're all removed from the game, then that's it. You win the game. This is a really great counter to decks that use like Heavy Storm, for example, because you know you just set 3 of these in the back row, your opponent Heavy Storms, and then you win. GG. Of course, the last piece of our core, this wouldn't be the best deck ever made if it didn't include the Egyptian God cards, okay? So we got Slifer here, Tormentor the Obelisk, and Super Mega Ultra Chicken. Now let me tell you something. The legal versions of the God cards, whew, man, they suck, alright? They are so bad that they're not even on the limited list. Okay, you can run 3 copies of each of them. Tell you what's not bad though, Lochte, the creator of light. All you have to do is manage to get all 3 of the Egyptian gods on the field and then summon this, okay? So simple. So simple. Granted, I've only been able to find Japanese versions of this card. I don't think I've seen any in English, but you can use it still. Just put it in your deck. If anybody says anything to you, just ask them what problem they have with the Japanese people. Then you can claim that some of your family members are Japanese and that you think they're really racially insensitive because they have a problem with you using Japanese cards, even though Japan's where the game came from. Even though that's not really what you're talking about right now, that's what it's going to devolve into, and eventually they'll just give up and let you use it. And that's it for our victory condition core, but we do have some cards on the side. I know we're already a little bit over 40 cards, and you normally want to use like a 40 card deck, but Magic the Gathering players use 60 cards in their deck, and some of those guys make a lot of money, okay? So Magic the Gathering players know what they're talking about. We're going to use a 60 card deck just like they do so that we can win our games and make a lot of money too. We've got the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, baby! I don't even think this card needs introduction. It's obviously one of the best cards in the game, so we're going to run 3 of them, of course. There's no 8-star monster that's ever come out that's been better than the Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then, of course, we've got 1 Dark Magician. It doesn't really have synergy with the deck, but it's what we like to call a tech card in the pro community. Yugi always manages to draw this card and win the game with it, and, he only uses 1, so we want to be cool like the King of Games, so we're only going to use 1. If using 3 was a good idea, Yugi would have put 3 in his deck. He only put 1 in his deck, therefore you only need 1 to win. We're also running ourselves 1 Polymerization. What is the Polymerization for, I wonder? Well, you'll know. Okay, you'll know. You'll know. You'll know. So one problem I know a lot of people are going to be having with this deck, because they're not quite on my level yet, is they're going to be saying, hold on, Kudo, hold on. You don't have enough low-level monsters. This deck is never going to work. Guys, I am ashamed of you, okay? How dare you become one of my fans and accuse me of being some kind of third-rate, unknown duelist? Of course I know this deck doesn't have enough low-level monsters. 3 Mystical Elves, 3 Stone Guardians. Just when you thought Kudo's deck couldn't get any better, bam, okay? 6, count them, 6 low-level monsters with 2,000 defense. Don't even try to tell me these cards ain't fire either, because I remember when I was a kid, I used to play Mystical Elf and Giant Soldier of Stone, and nobody stepping over 2,000 defense. Okay, I've got experience, guys. I've got experience. Just don't brag about your Nerf gun collection to a man who's been to war, alright? That's all I'm saying. By the time your opponent figures out how to deal with one of these monsters, you're already going to have one of your win conditions in place. So, GG, GG. Deck's going to be running 3 MSTs. Oh, I'm sorry. I forget sometimes that some of you low-level players might not know what MST stands for. It's what the big league professional players call Mystical Space Typhoon. Okay, I understand if you were confused. All right, that gets a lot of people. Once you have a few nationals under your belt, once you've gone to a Worlds, you'll know what Mystical Space Typhoon and MST have to do with each other. Okay? Okay. Anyways, it's a must-have for the deck. It destroys and negates any spell or trap card on the field. Pretty much any time your opponent tries to activate a spell or a trap card, you just MST and it destroys the card and negates it. Sometimes you'll play against somebody who doesn't understand that if a card is destroyed, obviously its effect is negated because the card was destroyed, so its effect can't go off. They're sore losers. They don't deserve any of your respect, so just let them know that they're sore losers, start packing up your stuff, because if they're not even going to respect the rules of the game, why even play against them? If the sore loser calls a judge or somebody to come over and talk about what happens, and the judge ends up taking his side for whatever reason, just let the staff know that that judge is very unprofessional and try to get him fired from his job. He doesn't know the rules. He doesn't deserve to be a judge. I'm tired of all these low-level duelists becoming judges at these events, alright? Finally, to round us out, we've got 1 Lone Fire Blossom. I'll be honest, I don't actually understand what this card does. I don't. But anyways, it's limited to 1, and quick rule of thumb for any of you Kudoites there, if a card is limited to 1, then it's a good card, so you need to be using it. That's pretty much just how limited cards work, guys. I mean, come on, I shouldn't have to explain this to you. Finally, onto our extra deck, guys, we need to be talking about the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. It's got 4,500 attack. That's, whew, 4,500. That's like the highest attack in the game practically. I really don't understand why anybody would put anything in their extra deck that has less than 4,500 attack if the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon has 4,500 attack. Every time someone tries to talk to me about side deck cards, they tell me about these Zen Maze, these Xyz and Synchros and stuff, and I always ask them, how much attack does it have? Does it have 4,500 attack? Does it have 4,500 attack? It doesn't. Well, why would you ever play it then? Then they try to tell me all of these special effects or how easy it is to summon or whatever, and I'm over here sleeping, and I'm just letting them know, okay, wake me up when you're ready to tell me that it has 4,500 attack, okay? I'm just gonna take a nap. Just wake me up when we get to the 4,500 attack part. And you know what? It never does. So just run 3 of these in your side deck. I really don't understand why you need anything else. Just run 3 of these and you're good. Is what I would be saying if I were a low-rate duelist, but we're not second place, guys. We're first place. We're going to be running 1 Fusionist. And some people out there are going to be confused. Hold on, okay? I'm going to explain it to you, okay? I'm going to feed you, baby bird. Just let me do it. So I'm going to teach you a secret bit of tech that a lot of people really underutilize, but it's probably the reason that we're top tier and they're second to top tier. So if it looks like you're going to be going against somebody who is a really good duelist, at the beginning of the game, just pick up your extra deck and sort of look through it, pretend to sneeze, achoo! And as you do the achoo, the chew part of the achoo, accidentally drop Fusionist in front of your opponent. Your opponent's going to look at it and say, wait a second. Mystical Sheep? Petite Fairy? I got this game in the bag. When you pick your card back up and put it back into your extra deck, then you keep playing and your opponent is expecting the Petite Angel, expecting the Mystical Sheep. And then when it turns out what you actually have is Exodia and Destiny board, their opponent's just going to have to shake their head in shame. Alright? You really got him this time. Bamboozled again. So that's the deck, guys. We're going to go over a really quick bit of strategy. If you want to FTK with this deck, all you have to do is draw all 5 pieces of Exodia in your opening hand. I know it sounds a bit difficult, a bit random, but if you really believe in the heart of the cards, it should be no problem for you. If it doesn't happen, then you probably weren't fated to win that duel anyway. If you manage to get the first 4 pieces of Destiny board on the field, then you can OTK the next turn by getting the last piece. So good luck with that. This deck's got the control element down with your Mystical Space Typhoons, just negating cards left and right. You've got your combo-centric part of the deck with the Venom minion and Venom Minaga. And then, of course, it's got that aggro down with your Blue Eyes and your Blue Eyes Ultimate and your Dark Magician. I mean, Blue Eyes Ultimate by itself, you just have to attack with it twice and you win. Like, you attack with it one turn, and then the next turn you can OTK by attacking with it again. And really, since nobody's figured out this deck concept except for me, the cards are really cheap right now, so I recommend picking those up before they go up in price, because I'm sure this video is going to get at least 100,000 or so views when people figure out that this is the real way you're supposed to be playing the game. Just remember, guys, if you take this to a regionals or something and you get some prize money, just message me, let me know. And I'll send you that PayPal link so you can give me a cut. I normally recommend about 40%, though if you're a subscriber of mine, I'll let you get away with 35%. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So if you did, go ahead and leave this video a like. Those things really do help us out. If you have any comments on the deck, leave them in the comment section below. Also, let me know your progress if you did decide to build the deck and play with it. And finally, subscribe to stay up to date on the latest Kudo news, even though there really isn't very much Kudo news going on right now. Thank you very much.